Hello, everyone, and welcome to GHT Time, where we discuss all things General Hospital. If you haven't already, please hit the bell notification so you'll be alerted to when we upload a new video. And I want to say a special thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. And if you haven't, please hit the like and subscribe button because it really helps out the channel, guys. So let's get started. If you haven't already, get your tea, get your snacks, put your feet up, and let's see what our characters are up to. General Hospital Daily Recap, Friday, February 13th, 2026. So, guys, there was a lot of folks in this episode. We had some Spinelli, Sidwell, Felicia, and the family, Brooklyn. So, let's see what our favorite bunch of characters are up to. Lucas walked in while Liz was getting ready for her date, and I have to say, I was surprised to see Lucas walk in. I thought Lucas was going to get it from Pascal, but he was able to get off of Spoon Island and out of Windermere. And Liz was asking him, is he okay? Because he looked really distraught. And Lucas started telling Liz that Marco's not the person he thought he was. He's like, he's been lying to him the whole time. Now, what I didn't like about this was that Lucas didn't kind of go into detail about what Marco was lying about. So Liz kept giving him advice like, don't jump to conclusions. Maybe it's not what you think it is. I could tell you guys love each other. And I'm like, wait, Lucas just found out it's some dangerous information that could get him hurt. And she was kind of basically telling him that he should, give it the benefit of doubt. Maybe he got it wrong. But, that's because she had half the information. But at the end of the conversation, Liz said, I'm going to give you some hard advice. I think you should go to Windermere and get your stuff and leave. If Liz knew what he found out, I would have told him, don't get anything. Don't ever go back there. And make sure you stay here and be around people. Because that whole situation, if he goes back in there, I don't think he's going to be able to leave. And I wish he would have told Liz the whole truth because I wouldn't go back for nothing. I wouldn't go get anything at all. Leave whatever that is there and keep it moving. But Lucas is going to bring himself back over there. Britt is at Windermere doing her experiments of getting this thing together, her father's final project. So Marco comes in, gives her shot, and Britt is like, can I see where my medication is being stored because I don't trust this one shot thing. So Marco was like, he can't do that. He has to get approval. So in the interim of that, Britt starts telling Marco, how long you think you're gonna be able to keep this from Lucas? All this stuff that you up to. They down there doing building weapons and all types of other stuff that they up to, other shenanigan things that they're doing. And Marco's like, no, once we get this done, that's it. Then I can get out of here and I can go live my life with Lucas. Britt is like, look, I used to live that life. All that lying is gonna come out, right? And Marco's like, no, he's convinced that he'll be able to keep this from Lucas and everything is gonna be fine. But Britt was telling him, there's no way you're gonna be able to keep this. Lucas is like Saint Lucas. So once he finds out, he's gonna see that he doesn't want to be with you. So now Marco is like second guessing, I guess, what he's doing. But at this point, even if he stopped working with his father, Lucas should stay away from him. These people are dangerous. Marco's on the phone having a conversation with Cullen about he was talking about Britt's medication, and then at the end of the conversation he says, "What are you going to do about Sonny Corinthos?" As he says this, Lucas walks up. Now Lucas probably overheard all of that, and that's the problem with Lucas living in this house. That's why I don't know why Marco asked him to come stay there. It didn't make no kind of sense. But now now Lucas done overheard that too. Maxie is awake. So the kids are overjoyed. They went and they hugged their mom. Felicia can't stop crying. A few minutes later, Spinelli came up. He had some food for the kids, threw the food to the side, ran up and hugged Maxie. So they're all like really overjoyed to that Maxie is awake. A few minutes later, the doctor came. They kind of stepped away, let the doctor check her. So the doctor was like, it's good. It's all clear. You guys can go in and see her. While the kids were in there speaking to their mom, Spinelli and Felicia went into the hallway to talk to the doctor because they wanted to make sure, like, would she relapse or something like that. So the doctor was basically like, everything that was wrong with her is fixed. It's a little bit of the, I think he said the enzymes are still in her system, but he was like, by her next exam, they should be like basically gone. So he was like, you got a miracle. And Felicia and Spinelli are overjoyed. So they come back into the room to talk to Maxie. And I think they caught James just before because he was talking about getting riding lessons. And he was like, even my dad is getting riding lessons. So Maxie just assumed that he was talking about Spinelli, but he was not. So Felicia rushed him out of the room, said, let Spinelli have a few minutes with your mom. So I'm definitely Team Spinelli. Spinelli came in, he was talking to Maxie, he was so overjoyed, and he was just like, I'm so happy that you're awake. So they were catching up with each other, and after that, the kids came back in, and Spinelli said, listen, I'm gonna take the kids back home because they didn't want them missing any more school. And he was like, your mom got some stuff she's gonna talk to you about. And the kids were just like, we want to stay here with their mother, which is understandable because like they just got her back, but the kids had to get back and go to school. So Felicia had asked Spinelli previously, can she be the one to tell Maxie about Nathan? So when they were in the room together, Maxie was like, Dag, I've been going so long, James is finally calling Spinelli dad. And Felicia was like, look, no. She was like, Nathan's back. And Maxie's like, what? And she was like, no, really. She was like, he's talking about his dad, Nathan. Nathan is back. And Maxie's face is like, she just can't believe it. So we're going to see what happens, hopefully Monday, when Felicia kind of really lay out the story about how Nathan came back. Lucy goes over to Sidwell's and tells Sidwell she made a mistake and that she really wants to be with him, right? She's sorry she gave him that ultimatum, and that, can they mend fences? So Sidwell is, of course, Lucy, we can mend fences. He was like, you're so entertaining. I love being around you, blah, blah, blah. Right? All this with that weird smile that he always has on his face. So, you know, I guess he's going to take her up on her offer. But the weird part to me about this dynamic or this relationship that Lucy has in her brain with Sidwell, have they ever were they ever intimate? I think he might have kissed her once. I don't know. It seems so strange. So I'm just like, why does she think that she has a relationship with this man? Somebody let me know in the comment section because I don't, their relationship doesn't seem real. I don't know. I feel like he's using Lucy for something. I don't know what that is. It's probably something with deception, but I feel like he's using her. But I don't know. I'm just curious. But if anybody knows any back information that maybe I missed, let me know down in the comment section. Nathan's still at Lulu's and he tried to go in for another kiss. Lulu stepped out of reach and she said, no, we can't do this. He's still on the fence about starting this relationship up. As Nathan was leaving, his, like, one of the little gifty things that he made fell on the floor. So he went to pick it up. He gave Lulu one and said, kiss me. And he was like, I'm going to give this to you for later. And he's like looking into her eyes. And then Brooklyn walks up. Brooklyn has stopped by with Bailey Lou. And with that, Nathan made his exit and he left. Lulu was trying to blow it off like nothing, and Brooklyn was like, no, 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 what's going on here? so, so Lulu was like, oh my goodness, I do have feelings for Nathan. And Brooklyn was like, that's a no-go. That is your friend's husband. You cannot do that. So Lulu's justification is that, everybody has moved on. Um, Her and Nathan want to explore where this is going to go. So Brooklyn is like, did you tell Dante at least? And she's like, no. See, this is the problem I have with this. I understand the Maxie situation. Maxie's in a coma. You don't know when she's going to wake up. Should they not have this relationship and you waiting years and years and years? It's a little gray area. Actually, I can understand her maybe being on the fence with that. Maybe saying, okay, well, can't we explore this relationship? But all that exploring in secret is kind of wrong. If you can't do it in the light, you shouldn't even be doing it, right? So Brooklyn is like, you can't do this. This is not right. That is your best friend. Don't do this. So she's asking, Lulu's asking Brooklyn for some grace. Can you keep this to yourself? Because me and Nathan want to explore this and see where it's going to go. And then Brooklyn kind of brought up, she said, I asked you for grace too about my teenage pregnancy. You didn't give me any grace. And she was like, I know, and I regret that, and I'm sorry. Okay, so you're sorry now because you want Brooklyn to keep her mouth shut? Whatever. I really have a problem with this, how they wrote Lulu this time around, but I'm hoping that they get it together. They've been slowly fixing it, but it looks like they're getting ready to go back to the dark side of Lulu and get her back to how she came in on the show, and I hope not. But anyway, Brooklyn was still going at Lulu and telling her, you need to not do this. This is you are her best friend. You don't want to mess up that relationship between her and Maxie. After that, Spinelli called while Brooklyn and Lulu were there kind of going back and forth, and he told Lulu that Maxie's away. So Brooklyn and her look very surprised. So hopefully she'll go over there later on after Maxie's back and feeling up to it and tell Maxie what's going on between her and Nathan so she can explore this relationship and not do it in secret. Michael is sitting on Jacinda's desk shirtless, right? So Nina comes in and sees him shirtless, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, because y'all have to have sex all over the office and everywhere." And then Michael was like, "Well, where else are we supposed to have sex? Some still silly like that." So Jacinda's like, "Stop that, Michael." And she was just like, "Nina, no, Michael's just messing with you. We need to have sex out here." But Nina is hysterical. She was like spraying the whole keyboard and everything down with Lysol. She was like so through with Michael. But Jacinda's like, "No, no, no. He need a new shirt. He spilled coffee on himself. I gave him a new shirt." So Michael asked Nina, can he speak to her? So they went into her office, and he was kind of like, "Can you leave Jacinda alone?" Nina was thanking him for giving Willow some custody of the kids, and kind of like they ended on a note of, she was like, "Well, Jacinda's not that bad of an assistant, so she don't mind having her there." And Michael was like, "Good," and he left. Jacinda finally asked Michael about the custody agreement that he made with Willow, because Michael never told her. And Michael was a little shocked that she knew. So he was just like, "No, he didn't make the agreement because of her. He made the agreement because, they probably gonna bring charges up against him with the whole Drew situation." And he just wanted to get ahead of it. So he let Jacinda know it's not her. It's he has his strategy of why he did this. He wants to be with her, and he wants to take her out to dinner for Valentine's Day. So Jacinda is like, "You know what? Instead of you picking the place, let me pick the place." And they made an agreement to go out for Valentine's Day. Ava came over to talk to Nina. She wanted to talk to Nina about Sidwell, right? She was like to Nina, "What do you know about Sidwell?" So Nina's telling her, "From everything that I heard, this guy's not a good dude. You should not be bothered with him." But Ava's like, "No, she's seeing the better side of him. She's seeing how he is with Marco, and she sees how he is, you know, uh, he's like a free spirit, all this other kind of stuff." Ava was trying to throw out there to make him seem like he's a halfway decent dude. Now, Ava knows. She's been around enough bad people. Ava know that there's something with that man, but whatever. But, she did tell Nina that the only issue is Lucy, because Lucy's around, and, she wants to see where this is going to go with Sewell, but Lucy's in the picture. So Nina said, "For the record, I don't think you should mess with him. But if you want to," she was like, "I can see you got a little spark in your eye. You go ahead and talk to him if you want." I think she can stay away from Sewell, but whatever. It's like, Sidwell comes to Nina's office and says to Ava, "Oh, I found you. I called your office or whatever, and they told me you was here, and I came over, and I want to take you out to get some dinner." So Ava's happy. She's like, "Oh, okay, you found me, and we gonna go out." So he comes up, takes Ava's arm, walks out the door, and he's like, "You were gonna have somebody with us," and it's Lucy. See, now, Lucy said something when she was at that nail salon a few days ago. She was like, "I'm not going to be one of his fillies in the stable." So I'm just like, this is what we doing? You collecting women? I'm sorry. If I was Ava, I'd have to be a hard no. I don't care if you like that man or not. I would not be competing with Lucy for him. That is a no-no. This is like, "Lucy, you can have him. I'll talk to you later." That's what Ava should have said. So he's taking these two women out to do what? And I have a question. Has he even been romantic with Lucy? I don't know. I just, somebody answer that for me in the comment section, because I don't even get that. But anyway, he took these two ladies out. He's gonna take them. I guess he's gonna proposition them and tell them some silliness. And if they go for it, they're both silly. So that was it for this episode, guys. So guys, that was the end of the episode. If you haven't already, hit the bell notification, hit the like and subscribe, because it really helps the channel. And thank you for joining us at GHT Time, and I will see you again shortly. Bye.